Hey everyone, and welcome to another slow flow yoga class. So today we're going to be kind of doing a 360-degree class. So we'll be moving around the mat, getting off the mat, getting acquainted with kind of the discomfort of leaving our comfort zones, and just kind of playing with the edges of sensation in the body. So take care of yourself first and foremost, and we're going to begin at the top of the mat in mountain pose. So as you arrive at the top of the mat, go ahead and roll the shoulders around a couple of times. Letting the arms come alongside the body, the palms turn forward. The legs are energized as you root the feet into the earth. So there's this nice strong stance, but there's also a sense of rest and of ease here as you find this very familiar and welcoming shape. And closing your eyes down as you begin to sense that foundation, that comfort here. Deepening your breath. And then eventually draw the hands together at the heart, feeling the heart beating, the breath moving through you. These internal rhythms are here in this moment and will follow you into your practice as a little reminder that you have everything you need. No matter what shape your body is in, no matter what circumstances are a part of your life right now, as long as these rhythms are with you, you are okay. So with that reminder, begin to set an intention for your practice, giving yourself a deeper purpose and meaning for showing up to your mat today. And you can keep the eyes heavy, just begin to sweep the arms up to the sky. Breathing in fully here, and then as you breathe out, let's take our first swan dive down into a forward fold. Letting the belly drape over the thighs. You can take the feet about hips distance for this first one, especially giving yourself extra space here in the beginning. Maybe you create a little movement going side to side. Nodding your head yes and shaking it no. On your next breath in, let's lift up halfway, stretching the heart forward, really lengthening through the spine, and drop the shoulder heads away from the ears as you breathe in and breathe out to fold. On your next inhale, go ahead and rise all the way back up to standing. Lift the arms to the sky. As you exhale, grab a hold of that left wrist with the right hand. Begin to lean over to the right. And as you feel this stretch through the left side body, you can even bump that left hip a little further to the side to intensify that release. One more breath here. And as you inhale, come back to center, unleash that wrist and begin to sweep the left arm back and the right arm forward. Your hips will kind of want to travel with you, but do your best to draw that left hip point forward. So you might not twist as deep here. You just focus on your breath. Your breath is really what's going to help you establish a nice safe twist in the body. And your next breath in, place that left hand to your low back. As the right arm lifts up, take an inhale. And then as you exhale, go ahead and just take both hands down as you fold. Inhale, we'll lift halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way back up to standing. Arms will lift. This time grabbing a hold of that right wrist gently as you lean to the left. Hips bump slightly to the right if you like. Really focusing on sending the breath into that right side body. your next breath in, go ahead and come back to center. As you exhale, sweep the right arm back and the left arm forward. Try to keep the shoulders soft and the belly is really strong as you breathe in and out. When you're ready, right hand goes to the low back as the left arm sweeps up. Take a big sip of air in. And as you exhale, go ahead and fold yourself back down. Inhale to lift you halfway up. From here, as you exhale, we'll plant the hands down and step back into our first plank pose. Do so slowly and mindfully. As you land, begin to really fire up through the midline, feeling as if the wrists were reaching towards the toes and the toes towards the wrists. So it's almost like you could scrunch your mat up. You'll feel your core really get strong here. And then just play around with shifting front to back. So just a gentle movement, shoulders beyond the wrists. And then as you shift back, heels go a little beyond the balls of the feet. Coming back to center, take an inhale. As you exhale, bring the shoulders just forward of the wrists, lower all the way down to the belly for this first one. Uncurl the toes behind you, hands ground down under the shoulders. Inhale, rise up into your Cobra Pose. Belly is strong, shoulders are soft. Exhale, lowers you down. Inhale back to Cobra. Exhale down. Inhale into your third Cobra, this time holding on to it. Really engage through the back body and then begin to hover your hands. If that feels accessible, maybe you add on by reaching the arms out to the sides, sort of like cactus arms. And then breathe in a little bit further and begin to draw the elbows in toward the side body. Really press the tops of the feet to the mat. One more big inhale. As you exhale, hands land down. Begin to shift your hips up and back into your first child's pose. So as the hips melt back to the heels, your chest can reach forward. Maybe the chest and head come to a block or to the floor. Take a really big inhale here through your nose. And then open your mouth and sigh it out. Your next inhale will come forward into our tabletop position. And then take an inhale, dip your belly low, tailbone lifts high as you stretch the heart forward for your cow belly pose. As you exhale, begin to round the back up toward the ceiling, releasing the air, letting the head hang. Inhale, belly drops, heart reaches. Exhale, round. And then just keep going. You can maintain this same movement, or maybe you explore something a little different, depending on what you need. It could be a circular stretch through the spine, the hips. Maybe closing your eyes and just encouraging yourself to move in ways that feel nourishing to you. Let's take one more breath wherever you are. We'll come back into a neutral spine from here. We're going to ground down through that left hand. Begin to lift your right arm up and open toward the sky. Breathing in deeply, and as you breathe out, thread that right arm across and through over to the left side of the mat. Letting the shoulder and the head land to something, so if not the floor, maybe to a blanket or block. Left hand can stay for support, or you can begin to stretch that left arm back behind you or overhead, whatever works a little better for you. Just like our standing twist, really focus on the breath doing most of the work here. You don't have to muscle your way deeper into the rotation. And let's take one more breath. From here, left hand is going to land down, and then on an inhale, lift your right arm back up and open. As you exhale, we'll swing that right arm straight ahead of us, so coming into a half spinal balance. You'll feel your core get strong right here from the start. Once you find your stability through the core, extend the left foot to the back of the mat, and then gently lift the heel up about as high as the hip. Maybe slightly higher, whatever works better for you, but keep all 5 toes pointed down toward the earth. And then find your stability. Take an inhale, lift everything another inch. As you exhale, you can stay or gently begin to draw the knee in toward the elbow as you round your back. We'll just do that twice more. Inhale, send it out long. Exhale, draw it in close. Once more. Good. This time you send it out long. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, begin to draw the knee and the elbow out to either side. So elbow to the right, knee to the left. Take an inhale, extend them forward and back once more. And then exhale back out to the side. Once more, just like that. Inhale. Exhale. You're going to keep the left leg where it is. Place the right hand down. Begin to really energize through those left toes. Maybe kick them out to the side. Really feel strong through the outer left hip. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, set that left foot out to the side. And then from here, you can keep your hips high or drop your hips back toward that right heel as you fold your chest and arms forward. So it's like a half puppy dog or half child's pose. And just take a few breaths here, allowing that heart rate to settle. From here, we'll come forward and then we'll rise up into this half kneeling position with the left leg extended out to the side. Right knee is beneath the right hip. We'll inhale to lift the arms up. And as you exhale, begin to slide that left hand gently down the left leg as your right arm reaches up and overhead. So maintaining a lot of strength on that left side, really utilize the oblique muscles. And then as you maybe look up and under that right arm, maybe begin to cactus that right elbow, stretching across the front of the shoulder and chest. Take a big inhale. Exhale it out. Inhale, come back up, breathe in as you lift the arms. As you breathe out, begin to spin those left toes toward that space to your left. As you bend into that left knee, you're now in a modified warrior two. Knee is somewhat above the ankle or just before the ankle, so you're not hyper or overextending rather. Arms and shoulders soft here, but strong. So already getting a different perspective of this pose, off the mat slightly modified. And just be curious about maybe the textures beneath that left foot, this different direction of the room that you might be facing. Noticing your reaction to those discomforts or just to those differences. Let's take one more breath here. Your next inhale, flip both palms up. Begin to straighten the left leg as you lift the arms overhead. As you exhale, sink right back into your strong modified warrior two. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, sink it in. Once more, inhale. And exhale. This time we'll stay low. Place that right hand to the outside of the right leg. Flip that left palm as you reverse your modified warrior two. Lean up and back, barely pressing into that right hand so it's really light on the back leg. Maybe even lift it up and overhead. Let's take one more big inhale. And as you exhale, cartwheel both of those hands down and around to frame that left foot. Begin to spin the right toes behind you, gently pivoting on the knee. And we're setting up into our lunge position here with the left leg forward. Take an inhale, dip the hips nice and low. Reach the heart forward, and as you exhale, shift the hips back, finding your version of a half split. Inhale, bend back into the knee, reach the heart and gaze forward. And exhale back. We'll just do that one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Good. We'll come forward back into our lunge position. This time, rise up, lifting the arms up and overhead. And exhale just settles you in. We'll take another big inhale here. And as you exhale, begin to reach that left arm back and the right arm begins to reach forward. So we're finding that twist. Now that you have this different view, you'll notice that I'm not completely twisted. I'm letting my core do the work to take me deeper. Let's take one more breath right here. And we'll place that left hand behind us to the back leg or the low back as you lift that right arm up and overhead. And just breathing in here. On your next exhale, we'll cartwheel both hands down to frame that left foot once more. Shift the hips back, find your way to that half split. This time we'll hold on to our half split, taking an inhale to lift halfway and an exhale to fold down. You can keep pulsing up and down or you can stay low and just enjoy a few breaths here. Giving that hamstring muscle group in the left leg a little love and attention. And then from here, we'll slowly begin to pivot on the legs and come to the back of the mat in your cow face legs. So you'll begin to bend that left leg over the right. Now, if that's a little too much, you can just lean to the right and extend the right leg forward in front of you, finding your half cow face. Either option is great. We'll start with a side body stretch. So place the left hand out to the left side as the right arm reaches up and overhead. The arm can stretch or you can just let the arm dangle on the head. Take a really big inhale here. And exhale. Inhale, we'll come back to center. Right arm will stay lifted. And that left hand will travel to the low back, or maybe you bring the hands together behind the back for your full cow face arms. So you have the option to stay upright here, just breathing into the shape in the legs and the arms, feeling the length in the torso. If the arms are too much, you can release them. And if you'd like to add on from either of these arm positions, you can begin to fold forward. No pressure. You want to find what works best for your body. And just take a couple more breaths here. From here, gently begin to rise back up, unleash the arms, sweep them for the sky as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, just let those hands land down next to your hips. We'll begin to lean back into the hands and then begin to uncross that left leg from the right. And we're coming into a reverse tabletop, so the hands come beneath the shoulders and your feet are about hips distance in front of you. On your inhale, begin to pick your hips up, reach the chest up toward the sky, feel the belly get really strong. Now you can just stick with this pose, or you can add on by lifting that left leg up, keeping the knee bent here. And then you can stay here, or you can tap the hips to the ground 3 times. So on an inhale, begin to tap the hips down. Exhale, pick them right back up. Left leg stays lifted. After that third round, we'll just stamp that left foot down and then drop those hips down to the ground. Bringing the soles of the feet together, knees wide. Take an inhale as you hold to the shins, reach your heart forward. And as you exhale, fold forward for your butterfly pose or Baddha Konasana. On your next breath, begin to rise back up. And we'll just guide the knees together from here and then just sweep those legs behind us, coming back into our tabletop position. And once you land here, we're gonna take a little intermission before the other side. So curl the toes under, pick the hips up as you come into your first downward facing dog. And as you land into this down dog, just pedal out the heels, bend into the knees, shake out the hips, anything you might need. And then from here, we'll begin to roll forward into our plank pose once more. Take an inhale. As you exhale, move all the way down to the belly. Uncurl the toes behind you. Press into the tops of the feet as you peel your chest up for Cobra. Exhale, lower. We'll do 2 more of those. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Now for this third one, you can do that hovering hand position with your cactus arms, or you can slide the hands back a little further down the rib cage as you begin to press into your hands, lift your thighs up, reach your heart forward for your upward facing dog. And then with control, with the strength you've got in the core, begin to lift your way up and back to your down dog or your tabletop, which is where we will meet here in a moment. And as you come into down dog, if you've landed there, go ahead and tap the knees down. Take an inhale as you stretch the heart forward, lift the tailbone high. And exhale, round the back, drop the head. Inhale, we'll come back into neutral. From here, we're gonna ground down through the right hand. Begin to lift the left arm up and open. Stacking the shoulders, opening across the chest. And as you exhale, thread the left arm across and through to the right side. Right hand can stay or take it wherever you'd like it to go. Any variations from here. Just 2 more breaths. And we'll take that right hand back to eye level. Begin to press into it as you lift the left arm back up, breathing in. As you breathe out, just sweep that left arm forward toward the space in front of you. Starting by just landing in this half spinal balance position. When you feel ready, you can take the right toes to the back of the mat, stabilizing there, and then lifting the heel up about as high as the hip. Focusing on your breath, feeling the belly support these kind of balancing motions. Take an inhale as you lift everything another inch. You can stay as you exhale or begin to draw the knee to the elbow. Inhale, extend it out. Exhale, draw it in close. 1 more inhale. And exhale. The next time you extend it out, take a big breath in. And as you breathe out, we'll bring the knee and the elbow out to either side. Inhale, arm forward, leg back. And exhale out to the side. 1 more. Good. Placing that left hand down. Really energize to the outer right hip. Begin to kick that foot out to the side. Take 1 big inhale. And as you exhale, just step that foot down. And then you can move into your half puppy dog or your half child's pose. Just for a few breaths. On your next inhale, go ahead and rise back up to the hands. Get your bearings once you're there, and then rise up into your half kneeling pose. Left hip above the left knee. Right leg extended to the side. We'll gently take that right hand down the right leg as you lift up through the left arm and then lean over to that right side. Keeping the oblique muscles in the right side body really strong here. Maybe looking under the left arm, maybe cactusing that elbow. And then from here, slowly begin to rise back up. And then as you exhale, we're going to turn the right toes toward the space over to the right as you come into your modified warrior two. So right knee bends somewhat above the ankle. Arms come out to a T here. Feeling the shoulders relax. The breath grows steady. Locating that intention. Maybe just being curious here about those layers of sensation, those differences in textures than you're used to, the air around you. One more breath. We'll flip both palms to the sky. On an inhale, straighten your right leg, lift the arms up. And as you exhale, deepen back in. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, deepen into it. Last time, inhale. And exhale. Right knee stays bent, rather, and then flip your right palm and lean back into your reverse warrior. So your left hand gently slides down that left leg. Maybe that right arm just dangles overhead. Maybe it reaches. Maybe that left arm is so light that it can also reach overhead. And then from here, gently begin to cartwheel those hands down to either side of the right foot, really gentle on your left knee. Begin to pivot so you can turn the left toes toward the space behind you. Once you're set up, drop the hips low, reach the heart forward on an inhale. And as you exhale, shift the hips back, finding your version of half split. Then we'll pulse between those two movements. Inhale, hips drop, heart reaches. And exhale, shift it back. And one more time. And the next time you come forward into your lunge, we'll hold on to it. So rise up when you feel ready. The strength of the outer right hip is really tugging inward toward the body and toward the midline. Think about the outer right hip drawing toward the left inner thigh. Once you get stable here, take an inhale with the arms lifted, and as you exhale, begin to reach the right arm back and the left arm forward. Not forcing the twist, utilize your core. And we'll find our reverse crescent. Right hand behind you as the left arm lifts up and overhead. And then cartwheel both hands down to frame the right foot once more. Hips shift back, holding on to your half split. So take an inhale to lift you halfway. And exhale to fold you down. And you can stay here 3 more breaths, continue to move, or just stay steady and still. We'll lift up halfway from here. We're moving toward that cow face pose. So you can tuck the back toes if that helps. Begin to pivot on your feet, opening up to the original top of your mat. Right leg is on top this time. Left leg can extend forward if it's too much to stack the knees. Right hand out to the right side as the left arm lifts up and reaches overhead. from here, really gently rise up, keeping that left arm above you. Right hand will come to the low back this time. Maybe you walk the hands together or keep them apart. You don't have to connect. And then stay upright, enjoying the shoulder stretch. If you can add on from here, you're welcome to fold. Otherwise, release the arms before you do that so you don't have too much going on. You'll be able to maintain that breath more than anything else. And just acknowledging where this side feels slightly different than the first. Accepting it is okay. Your next breath in will rise back up. Unleash the arms if they're still bound, taking the palms behind you so you can lean back and take the legs in front of you, prepping for that reverse tabletop. Pressing into the palms and the feet, lift the hips up. Shoulders draw back, elbows buoyant here, especially if you hyperextend. And then we'll begin to ground down through that left foot. Maybe you add on the right leg, lifting it up, keeping the knee bent. And you can just hold on to this. This is a lot. If you'd like to add on to this, you can take an inhale to dip your hips down to the ground and exhale to pick them right back up, keeping the leg as it is. Twice more. And then from here, we can drop both hips down. This time taking your legs out wide into a V shape. Take an inhale as your heart reaches forward, spine lengthens. And as you exhale, just begin to melt your way toward that space in front of you. No expectation to close out that shape, or that space rather, just finding a position here that feels like you could just surrender into it. On your next breath, go ahead and begin to rise back up. And we'll just take the feet out in front of us, heels in, toes out, and then we're just gonna kind of perch ourselves forward into a Palazzo Squat. So you can drop the hips down nice and low here, heart reaches forward, or if that's too much on the knees and ankles, take your feet wider and come into your goddess squat. So it doesn't matter if you have to come off of your mat a little bit, especially today, feel free to explore variations that work for your body. And we'll just take 3 more breaths in whichever squat variation you are in. And on your next inhale, we'll lift the arms and the torso as you straighten the legs, breathe in. And you can heel toe the feet together as the hands come to the heart. Just take a moment to feel the heart beating, feel that breath moving just as we did at the beginning. Reminding yourself that you are okay because these rhythms are present. Nothing else can change that. On your next inhale, we'll sweep the arms out to the sky. And as you exhale, fold yourself down. Take an inhale to lift yourself halfway up. This time as you exhale, we're just gonna step back right into our down dog. So you can just take a little step back, not as far as you would for plank. Unless you'd really like to take a vinyasa, then you can come all the way back and flow through. Once you land into your down dog, take a big inhale. And then open your mouth and sigh the breath out. We'll ground down through that right foot. As the left leg lifts up, go ahead and open out the hip, bend into the knee. Give it a little movement here, anything that feels good. If you'd like to, you can take those left toes behind the right leg, press your hips up, and open your heart into a wild thing. And then from here, we're gonna come back around. Left leg is gonna square off and straighten out. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, we're gonna bend into that left knee and just draw it out to the left side. Inhale, extend the legs straight up and back. Exhale out to the side. One more time, inhale. Exhale to the side. This time we'll hold on to it. You guessed it, extend it straight if you've got it in you. Take one big breath in. And as you exhale, just stamp that foot down. Go ahead and just walk your hands around to the left foot. We'll turn the toes forward, and then you'll have to hop that right foot behind you, so you're in a runner's lunge. Once you come into that position, we'll rise up and open out into a warrior two. So the heel of the right foot will now come down. Again, off of our mats a little bit. It's okay, take a moment to get your bearings. Settle back into the heartbeat, the breath, supporting you. On your next inhale, we're gonna lift out of that leg a bit, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, arrive back into the pose. Do that twice more. Inhale and exhale. Last time. Good. This time stay low in the legs. Right hand just gently slides down that right leg. As your left arm lifts up and overhead, take a big inhale. As you exhale, we're going to take the hands down out in front of us. Begin to pivot over to that right knee into a side lunge. You'll spin to the heel of the left foot. So our Skandasana lunge. And then we're going to move between these two motions. So on an inhale, reverse warrior. Bending to the left knee, lifting the left arm up. And exhale to your Skandasana lunge to the right. You can use your hands to support the movement. One more. Good. The next time you're in your Skandasana lunge, you can walk the hands forward. You could take a little twist here if you'd like. Anything that feels good, sounds nice. And then from here, we're gonna come into our crisscrossed forward fold. So we're gonna begin to slide that left leg in, begin to pivot those toes around toward what you might assume to be the back of the mat. So left leg is in front of the right as we come into our little crisscross fold. So take an inhale as you lift up halfway, maybe give that outer left hip a little extra TLC. And then as you exhale, fold yourself back down. And on your next inhale, we're gonna come all the way up to standing. So bend into the knees as much as you need to. You can hop the feet in a little closer. Left leg is still in front of the right. We'll begin to bend into that right knee. So we're creating a shelf for that left leg to rest on. Coming into half of our eagle pose so far. Left toes can tap to the floor. You can hug that outer foot to the outer leg, or you can wrap it completely if that feels safe in your joints. We'll take that left arm underneath the right arm for our full eagle arms. And we're just gonna take a couple of breaths here. And let's take one more. Good. From here, unleash the arms. We're gonna step that left foot forward. Right heel comes down, prepping for our pyramid pose. Take an inhale as the heart lifts up. And as you exhale, fold yourself over that left leg. And your next inhale, lift yourself halfway. Put a micro bend in the left knee so you can hop the right foot back behind you. And then rise all the way up into your crescent lunge. Take a big inhale here, arms lifted. As you exhale, left arm back and the right arm will reach forward. We'll reverse our crescent next, so left hand to the back leg or low back, so right arm lifts up. Breathing in And then as you breathe out, we'll just cartwheel those hands down, step it back. You can choose to move through a flow or just go right back to down dog or take a breather in your child's pose. So kind of pulling the pieces together, but still not really doing things as we normally do them. Give yourself a moment to calm down, to reconnect. And then when you're ready, we'll make our way back to down dog. Final sequence here. We'll take that right leg up to the sky, opening out the hip. You can bend into the knee maybe, draw some big circles with that right knee. If you'd like to flip to your wild thing, right toes over behind the left leg. As you bump your hips up, reach that right arm overhead. And then from here, we're gonna come back into our three-legged dog, squaring the hips off, straighten the right leg out. Breathing in here. As you breathe out, begin to draw that right knee out to the right side. Inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, out to the side. One more inhale. Exhale. Holding on to it. Engage that superhuman power here, and then begin to extend the legs straight. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, just step that right foot out to the side. We're gonna come off the mat and over to the right, coming into our runner's lunge. So that left leg will kind of have to swing back behind you. Once you find your position here, we're gonna rise up and open to warrior two. Back heel grounds down, right knee bends. So getting settled in here. Good. From here, we'll flip the palms up. Take an inhale as you straighten the front leg, lift the arms. And as you exhale, settle back in. Inhale, lift it up. And exhale. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Stay low in that front knee. Flip your right palm, reverse your warrior, finding your way into this nice little side body / back bend. We're gonna go to that side lunge next, so take a really big inhale. And as you exhale, begin to bring the hands forward so you can shift to the left knee, straightening the right leg out. So getting acquainted with how this feels on this side. When you're ready, find a little flow with it. So take an inhale, rise up, lean back, reverse warrior. And exhale, Skandasana side lunge. We'll just do it one more time. This time you can land in your side lunge, maybe walk the hands forward, maybe finding that twist here, if that's what you did on the other side. Breathing no matter what you're doing. And then from here, we'll slowly begin to transition around toward the original top of the mat, coming into a crisscross forward fold. So the right leg is now in front of the left. Take an inhale as you lift yourself halfway up, maybe tucking that right hand to the right hip crease, and as you exhale, fold down. And just take a few breaths here. Slowly from here, come all the way up to standing. As you come up, you're gonna just hop the feet a little closer. We'll begin to bend into that left knee this time. Right leg is on top. So as you come into this, really squeezing the inner thighs toward one another. Finding a point you can stabilize your gaze on your drishti. And then you can add the arms, wrapping the right underneath the left this time. Letting those elbows really lift off of the chest, the fingers reach forward so you feel the space between the shoulder blades. Get a really nice release. Just a couple more breaths. And from here, we'll unwrap the arms. We're just gonna step that right foot forward, and you can drop that left heel down behind you, prepping for our pyramid. So take an inhale, lift the arms up, and as you exhale, fold yourself forward. And just take a few breaths here. Lift up about halfway on an inhale. Put a micro bend in the right knee so you can hop that left foot back behind you. And then rise up into your crescent lunge. Breathing in, arms lift. And as you breathe out, find your twist, right arm back, left arm forward. We'll reverse our crescent, right hand behind you. Left arm lifts up as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, go ahead and cartwheel the hands down. Step back, you can choose to flow or to just land your way into your child's pose. This is where we'll all meet eventually. Once you come to your child's pose, you have just a few minutes here to explore anything you'd like. So maybe if you are practicing an inversion, this would be a good time to experiment with that. An arm balance, or you could just come into your pigeon poses. Anything that kind of sounds good to you. One of the things that challenges me to get out of my comfort zone is really just listening to what I need, regardless of what the teacher is doing or what other students are doing around me. So I want you to explore that today. Take a moment. Maybe what you need is just stillness, a nice resting pose. It doesn't have to be fancy, so take a few moments here for you. Once you have balanced yourself out from both sides, we're going to begin to make our way to Shavasana, our final resting pose. So you can choose to go to your back, to your side, your belly. I'm going to take legs up the wall because it's a nice release for me, but I want you to find a position that feels really relaxing to you. So take your time to make your way there. And then closing the eyes down. Releasing control over the breath. Letting go of any last little ounce of effort through the body, the bones, the muscles, the joints. And just allow everything to become very easy here. Take rest. And begin to deepen your breath, inviting gentle, small movement back into the body, stretching out the fingers, the toes, maybe slowly rolling the head side to side. And when you're ready, take the arms overhead, stretching out as you breathe in, and then as you breathe out, open your mouth, let it go. And gently bending into the knees, and begin to roll yourself onto one side of the body, coming into your fetal position. Pausing here for a moment to reconnect with your breath, noticing those new spaces that have been created through your body, your mind, your heart. the awareness that accompanies getting out of your comfort zone a little bit. And we'll come up to a comfortable seated position from here. You can maintain the heaviness in the eyes. And let the arms just rest into the lap for a moment. And then when you feel ready, draw the palms together at heart center. We feel that heart beating right beneath the surface, reminding us that we are here, we are alive, we're present, and that means that each one of us is very truly blessed. Namaste.